I'm sure you've seen other videos and read blogs about the cost of living in Medellin or in Colombia as a whole. When I first got here in 2010, the peso was at 1,500 pesos to $1. Today, the peso is about 4,000 pesos to $1. So when I got here in 2010, I got here because I was deported. I fucked up when I was 29 years old in 2010, and I got here with no money, had to start from scratch, just a suitcase of clothes that my mom had sent me and a borrowed laptop. So I didn't care what the conversion was. I wasn't making any US dollars anyway. The first thing I had to do was find a local job, and I worked a local job here. But today I own a digital marketing agency that caters to US clients. So I'm making US dollars. So I'm really able to take advantage of this conversion rate. And even though tourism has boomed in the last few years, life is still very affordable, especially when compared to a place like the United States or the UK or Australia. So let's go over some of my expenses. Let's start with the most important ones. Rent. I rent a 94 square meter apartment in El Poblado. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And for those of you that have looked on Airbnb, I'm sure you've seen prices for something like this at about $2,000 per month, $2,500 per month, $3,000 per month. And I know because I own a couple of those. So let me be the first one to tell you that there's a big difference between renting on Airbnb and renting the local route. For this apartment, I pay $600 per month. So imagine an apartment like mine on Airbnb goes for about $2,000, $2,500 per month. I pay $600 because I went the local route, and I've lived here for about 6 years. If you want to go more in depth on how to rent locally, make sure to click the link in the description below that says MedellinMasterclass.com. So that's the rent. The next thing that I pay are utilities. Utilities run me about 500,000 pesos per month. I live in a neighborhood that is categorized as an Estrato 5, which means that we pay a little higher utility rate than someone in a Estrato 4, 3, 2, or 1. The highest Estrato is Estrato 6, and that's up in the hills and Poblado. Most of Poblado is 6. I'm in the area of Poblado, which is a 5. Also, thanks to El Nino and this heat wave that we're going through until February of 2024, I have to run my air conditioning pretty much all of the time because it gets so hot now. So I'm paying about 500,000 pesos in utilities, which equates to about $124 per month. The next expense, an important one, is internet. I work online, so I need reliable internet. I pay for pretty good internet, 100 megas of download speed and 100 up, and I pay about 300,000 pesos per month, and that's about 74 US dollars. My next expense is a cell phone. I'm on a monthly plan with a local carrier here, and I pay about 145,000 pesos per month, which comes out to be about 35 US dollars. My next big expense is food. I order a lot of food through an app called Rappi, which is our version of DoorDash, which is like DoorDash on steroids, actually, because you can order anything. You can even get cash from that app. It's amazing. So I use Rappi a lot, but I also do groceries. I do like to cook. And I spend about 1,500,000 pesos per month on food and deliveries, which comes out to be about 370 US dollars. Another important expense is health insurance. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know about Colombia is that their health insurance is amazing if you have money. If you're on the free one and you're poor here, you're going to have to wait in lines. Service is slow. Appointments can be months out. But if you do have enough money to pay for private health insurance, you can have an amazing service. I pay for a higher end insurance plan, which is about $1,300 for the entire year, which comes out to be about $108 per month. Again, if you want to get more in-depth information about these things that I'm talking about, make sure to click the link in the description below to the MedellinMasterclass.com. My next expense, and one of my favorite things about Medellin, is my maid. And I use the word maid for a lack of a better word because she is basically like a family member to me now. She's been the lady that comes to my house, cleans, cooks, and does my laundry 2 times a week. She's been coming for the past about 5 years, and she is amazing. And she is basically my Medellin mom. That's what I call her. She makes the most amazing beans, by the way. For some reason, paisas know how to make beans. Maybe this is where they get their beauty or their booties. But anyway, it is amazing. And she comes twice a week, and I pay her about $150 per month. And that includes her health insurance, benefits, and Social Security, which you have to pay for a domestic employee. So if you don't know that, when you get here, just make sure that you go through an agency that will have that covered for you, instead of just hiring someone on a whim or off of a Facebook group and paying them cash under the table, because at the end of the day, they could sue you when you fire them or when you let them go. The next expense is the gym. I use SmartFit. SmartFit is one of the big ones. It's like kind of like LA Fitness, but it's newer and it's nicer. And I go to the one near my house, which is about 2 blocks away. And I go during the day because at peak hours, that is like a zoo. I pay about 90,000 pesos per month for the black plan, which means that I can go to any SmartFit in the city. And on top of that, I could go to any SmartFit basically in the world. They're in various countries, but I go to Mexico a lot, and they have SmartFit in Mexico. When I go to Guadalajara, I have almost my same routine. I go to the co-working there, and the SmartFit's right next to it, and I don't have to pay anything extra. I just go in with my membership. 90,000 pesos comes out to be about $22 per month. My next big expense is the barber. Gotta keep this looking nice. I mean, it's the only thing I got going for me. I'm 42 years old, and I'm not bald yet. That's amazing. And I'm not the most handsome man in the world, but I gotta keep myself up because I'm still single, and I like to date, and I like to take women out, and I like to go dancing, I like to meet new people, etc. So I go to the barber every week. And go to the barber is not what I meant. I mean that the barber comes to me. So my barber comes to my house, cuts my hair right there in the living room while I'm overlooking the city. That cost me about 70,000 pesos plus a 10,000 peso tip. So I'm spending 80,000 pesos every Friday, which comes to be about 320,000 pesos per month. At today's exchange rates, about $79 per month for this beautiful thing I got right here, my body. All right, the next thing is Uber. Uber is something that I don't use very much because, like I said, I live in El Poblado and everything that I do is near here. So I don't have to commute very far to go out on a date or to go to a restaurant or meet up with friends at a club, to go watch my favorite DJ spin, etc. My Uber budget's about 100,000 pesos per month, give or take, which comes out to be $24. One of my other big expenses is my bar tab. I do love to go to the bar. It's a sports bar here. It's my local bar. This didn't exist years ago. For so many years, I was waiting for some sort of sports dive bar. Not like a Hooters, because Hooters been here forever, but I fucking hate Hooters. It's not my vibe. I'm more of a dive bar guy. I like to go watch sports, and I go watch the sport and cheer on my team or watch it because I love the sport, etc. So they opened up a sports bar about 5 years ago here, and that's my local bar that I go to, and I have a tab there, and it averages out to be about 530,000 pesos per month, which comes out to be about $130 per month for me to have a bottle there sitting there waiting for me every single time that I go there. And I have a couple drinks, walk back home, and I do that pretty much once or twice a week. I've met some of the most amazing people there as well. Not only locals, but foreigners that are coming down here to vacation, foreigners that have decided to retire here, foreigners that have businesses and they just love it here and decide to stay for longer term. I've made some really great friends there. On top of that, I've dated a couple of the waitresses there, which I try not to do because you know what they say, don't shit where you eat. But anyway, moving on to the next expense, which is the co-working space where I work from here. This is my office, but I don't like to be cooped up all day. My routine is that in the morning, I walk over to the co-working space in my neighborhood and I pay about 600,000 pesos per month to go there about 3 times a week. And that comes out to be about $148 per month. The great thing about the co-working space is that I'm able to meet people there. My business partner's there. My accountant goes to work there sometimes. I meet new people all of the time. So I'm always socializing. I'm always around people. I'm always smiling. Life is great. My next expense is entertainment. Apart from going to the bar once or twice a week to watch a ball game, I do like to hang out with friends, either meet up for lunch or go out on a Friday night or a Saturday night to watch a DJ spin. I like to take girls out on dates, etc. So that usually happens on the weekends. So my entertainment budget is about 530,000 pesos per month, which comes out to be about $130 per month. I added about 500,000 pesos per month to that miscellaneous and that comes out to be about $123 per month. So my grand total, my expenses for everything that I do here is about $2,000 per month, which is about 8 million pesos per month. 8 million pesos per month is a lot of money for someone that's earning local wages. Remember, the minimum wage here is $250 per month. So don't take it for granted. Live your best life. Become the best version of you. And that's what I've been focusing on. So let me know in the comments, what are you guys feeling? What do you think about this video? Are you living in Medellin? How is your life in Medellin? If you're not living in Medellin, why would you want to come live here? Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hold on, come on.